Sir, a second apology forum has hit the community. So I'm just going to make one last video where I just kind of do a tell-all and just get everything off my chest. Because if I learned something from starting therapy, it's that the best way to move on is just cut all the toxic shit out and just get it off your chest and just begin again. So that's what I'm going to do. First off, I want to point out how you people are literal animals. That video that I posted today, it caused such a controversy that the official Darktide Discord, there were more posts about me and irrelevant drama that you people fucking fabricated in your own heads than there were people actually trying to LFG in the game. That is ridiculous. Moderators should never allow a server to turn into that, but they were actually the ones contributing to it and getting it started. So Fat Shark absolutely condones this behavior. If you want to go in there and every day do nothing but just talk shit about me, Fat Shark will give you a stamp of approval for that. And I also just want to talk about all the behavior that I've received from that server. I've received, since starting uploading videos, over 500 messages of shit like, oh, kill yourself, you worthless faggot, I fucking hate you so much, you're such a horrible person, etc., etc., etc. Some of it is multiple accounts. Some of it is people that heard some random thing in that server and just decided to go on a crusade against me. And a lot of it is just the same people making alternate accounts, as sad as that sounds. Those same people will also look through my Steam to see if I'm playing a multiplayer game so they can try and like hunt me down and harass me in that too. But I'm definitely the toxic one in this relationship here. Anyway, so I want to talk about, despite this controversy that led to the main server turning into about 5 hours of just Tanner this, the moderators were jumping in, which, by the way, nice going, Fat Shark. This is all that hate amounted to, 32 dislikes. It is literally just the same 30 fucking people talking about me over and over and over and over and over again for a year now. At the end of the day, you do have to recognize that straight up, the people like you guys in that general chat who really don't like me are such an unhinged minority, you kind of have to start asking yourself, why are you the only ones with these problems with me? Okay, now I want to talk about this. Hank, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you need to recognize that you are not a mind reader, nor do you have any special connection with Fat Shark. So, apparently he posted a screenshot to like prove that I never talked to a dev. Okay, I'm assuming he asked Straw Hat and she said, no, we never worked with him in an official capacity, which I literally said in the video, by the way, and then said again in the pinned comment. And then when someone said, oh, Tanner's giving feedback to Fat Shark now, I explicitly denied that. So I have never even attempted to paint that as what it is. Hank, this may shock you, but just because the PR wing of a company says we can't associate with this person doesn't mean that the actual employees, like off the clock, aren't fans of that person. I understand that might be a mind-blowing revelation to you, but the overwhelming majority of people actually like me and they like my content because they understand when something is a fucking joke. So, yeah, like, I don't know what you want me to say. How do you prove that a conversation didn't happen? The only way you could actually prove this, I just want to put this into perspective for you, is if Straw Hat asks for the phones of every single fucking employee when they walk in, and she checks every single Discord message they have sent to someone to make sure my name doesn't show up. One, if she does that, she is a fucking psychopath. Like straight up, that is ludicrous behavior. Second off, if she did that, she would have found me in there, and then, she would have said, no, someone did. So, and I'm not in the server. I'm just assuming that's what he posted because I can't think of any other possible screenshot you could have because it's a private message between two people on their private personal accounts. How the fuck can you know that didn't happen? It's such a ridiculous, immature way to think. Speaking of Hank, I want to talk about Hank for a second because he really has proven himself to be just kind of a not good person, and he definitely shouldn't be a moderator. Okay, first and foremost, he leaks a shit ton of information. He leaked the actual reason why I was banned from the server. The official narrative of I broke server rules and posted messages a while ago was completely not the reason. And he also told me this right here. So I just want to talk about the community now and just get all of this shit off my chest. No one likes you guys. You guys that routinely post on Reddit like 5 times a day, that hound the general chat in the Darktide LFG server, nobody likes you guys. To the point where Fat Shark themselves Oh, also, yeah, this is how Hank talks about Fat Shark when the tables turned, and he doesn't think Fat Shark will ever get to hear it. By the way, this is how what he actually thinks about them. Just FYI, and yeah, no, this is just how Fat Shark is. They will create community outreach programs, and then they will just not. They'll tell people don't check it, because they want to put up the illusion that they are listening, the illusion that they care about the community. In reality, you have never even heard from Straw Hat, because she barely fucking does anything, because they learned after they had a turnover rate of 5 community managers in like a month that this community is impossible to please, and you should just, best way to interact with it, don't interact with it at all. You want evidence of this? When's the last time you saw them just hang out in a way that you could interact with? When's the last time you could ever talk to them? When's the last time you could ever do anything? You couldn't. You couldn't. You just straight up couldn't. But yeah, and you still can't. But yeah, this was like, I feel like Archaon, genuinely. Like, I sat down, I put in my application, I was like, hey, I'm down to play ball, do everything like politically correct. I'll clean, you know, I'm down to play ball. And I didn't get a response, which made me assume that I was blacklisted. Because why the fuck would they ever work with someone like me? That's just what I assumed. They never officially said that. Still haven't, by the way. And it's just like, okay, you know? So what it actually was, you remember when Archaon asked Sigmar for a message, and Sigmar tried to send it to him, but Chaos blocked it? Yeah, the forces of laziness and not wanting to get burned again by interacting with this toxic community made me believe that I was blacklisted, and made me a million times more hostile than I honestly ever should have been. And I want to also talk about Hank a bit. So I don't have screenshots of this because, 1, I'm not in Telepod's server anymore, and 2, they're banned from my server, so their message history is gone. So this is just from my server lore. You can ask other people in my server, and they'll confirm what I'm saying. If that's not enough evidence for you, then fine, fair enough, but it's still worth discussing. Fat Shark, Hank and Nate Gore specifically have no business being moderators. Do you understand how abhorrently bad these guys make you look? Hank joined Telepot's Discord server, so an unrelated content creator joined, called me a lying piece of shit, and he's like, bro, what the fuck is your problem? Yeah, that's how your official moderator goes on to other places outside of, like, the official sphere to hunt people down, to start drama with them that other content creators in the sphere then have to deal with the fallout of. That is how your people act. This is also the same guy that every time you make a change, leaks that information to people. Why the fuck is this guy even a moderator in the first place? Nate Gore joined my personal server, and he straight up told me, I'm not interested in talking about anything with you. I just want you to know you're like a fucking piece of shit. And then he was just constantly posting stuff like that until I banned him. Fat Shark, these are your moderators. These are the people, Straw Hat, that you gave power over the community to. And if they decide they don't like someone, they will fucking hunt them down, publicly cause drama with them, and just drop a bunch of insults on them. These are the people running the community, and you're gonna tell me it's not a toxic place? And now I want to talk about this, my final smoking gun of evidence. I can pull screenshots from like 20 different content creators. Okay, not that many, more like 7, 10-ish content creators that just noped out of Darktide and noped out of the community. For example, here's Jefficus saying, corroborating exactly what I'm saying, that, you know, you can't praise the game, you can't criticize the game, you can't fucking post a build, you can't say something's good. There is just this toxic vocal element about every aspect of this game where people will just jump on you. And that's it. Why do you think most content creators aren't even in the official Discord, by the way? And then look, Torinator, you want to know what my biggest problem with the Ogronomicon and guys like Hank and FireAnt are? Tori was an incredibly promising upcoming content creator. Probably would have been the best of all time. However, most people said this is like Tanner if he took his meds. This is amazing. However, he made the unfortunate mistake of being a high-level player that actually does Ogryn solos and duos, and he just gave his opinion about Ogryn and what the meta was, and he completely said that most of the information in the Ogronomicon is wrong, which is an opinion shared by the majority of, like, super high-level true soloist Ogryn players. and he got effectively bullied out of content creation from it. Really, his PC died, but I got to talk to him again a few months later, and he was like, I have no interest in ever talking about darktide again. Fuck those people. And by the way, held comments are just the stuff that's like, hey, faggot, go fucking kill yourself. Die. I hope you die. The stuff that's just like, actually, the Ogrenomicon says this, and you're an awful person, and fuck you. That stuff goes through, and that's the stuff he had to delete. And straight up, like, he said it right here. He was shocked at how much negative attention he got, even though he was super kind, and he straight up just, he does not want to make content as a result of all the negative attention he received. Because he's like, well, what the fuck do I do now? JTC Live, one of the nicest fucking people in the entire community. I wish I could be like JTC. But even him is like, yeah, it's 40K. Of course, the people that like make up the general community, they are armchair mouth breathers living in a perpetual state of angry. And this wasn't really a problem in Vermintide, but it is significantly worse in Darktide. And then, like, oh shit. Hold on, let me pull this screenshot up again. But let me just talk while I say this. Like, I can pull more. Do you want more? Because I can pull more screenshots of this. Here's Mr. E. He talks about me in one of his videos, so he can give his opinion on the Ogren rework. And he has to pin a comment where he's like, you guys need to chill the fuck out. Tori had to do the same thing, by the way. Even though he never mentioned me a single time in any of his videos, just the fact that his content style was similar-ish to mine, talking in the Psychanium for like 20-30 minutes, the amount of people that turned his comment section into an argument about me, he also had to lock down his comments and pin message like this. So I just want to say, like, you know what I'm saying is true. That the community doesn't... Why is the only, like, real server for this game the official one? Why are there no, like, real sub-communities that have more than, like, 100 people? And those sub-communities are just non-English speaking LFG servers because, you know, you're not allowed to non-post English in the main server, so they kind of got to go to their own place. Why is that the case? Why are there no big community hubs? There's no big content servers you can go to. There's no nothing. That's because anyone who tries to do something like that gets fucking ran out of town because of just how toxic you people are. You find a problem with everything about everyone. You people, JTC is right. You live in a perpetual state of angry and you just want someone to hate. Now, something else that I want to say. You people straight up do not know how to take a joke, nor do you know what a joke is. So I'm actually going to add this in impromptu real quick. I'm just going to impromptu add this in because I got a comment like a minute ago that was so just like shockingly telling about the state of the general community. Right here. This is from the previous video. And I just asked, how is this rage? And I get told that the apology forum itself is proof that this is just raging, crashing out. I can't believe I have to say this, but you guys are aware. You guys in the server, you guys are aware that this is a meme, correct? You're aware that I'm posting a meme, right? This is a joke. This is not serious. I am doing the funny. Right? And something that became super evident to me the more I made content for Darktide is that you guys just straight up, like, I don't know if you're just incompetent when it comes to taking jokes or what, but I just want to show you a couple clips. I grew up with the fighting game community. So I'm going to show you a couple clips of people that influenced me and inspired me greatly. And just the kind of community I'm used to dealing with. And I want you to tell me, does this sound familiar or not? And after hearing this, you tell me I'm being 100% serious with my loudness and raging and stuff.
Baby. Same thing again, K-Pat. Let's go. 1-0. We done? Is that it? Who sucks? Okay. Number 3 on the list, you. Number 2, you. Number 1, you.
I've literally said this to Mr. E, by the way. On his stream, I was referencing this, and you guys posted that on the server, like, oh, look at how mad he's getting. No, it's a joke and a reference. I'm sorry you aren't cultured enough to understand.
Wes, you ain't on my level. Okay. I should have entered final round. I was at 16th. What'd you get?
17th. This is what I grew up with, okay? This is what I'm used to. People talking to each other like this all the time, but you still see big smiles on everyone's faces. And hold on. No, there's more. I love this. No, you want even more? Hold on.
Step on this dumb motherfucker.
That is the community that I spent most of my childhood around. The FGC, the fighting game community. That's what I'm used to. So when I'm like on stream and I'm getting loud and I'm getting turned up and hyped like this and I'm talking all this crazy shit, you are ass, you're garbage. It is not serious. I do not actually think that. That is just showmanship. That is just the popping off, the trash talking. I cannot believe I have to explain to a room full of adults that I'm not actually an unhinged psychopath. I just really like to embody the showmanship popping off like nature that I grew up around. And a lot of people find it very fucking funny, which is why I'm a very, well, not very, but I guess you could say very, whatever. Who gives a fuck, man? It's all ego stroking anyway. I am a successful enough content creator because people find it entertaining. I'm sorry that you take it seriously and you don't recognize it for the joke, which it is. And I just want to say one final thing. One final little, like, monologue, like you're talking to, like, the bad guy at the end of the movie. No matter what you say, it really doesn't matter. For two reasons. One, it's more about optics than anything else. A new player will join the server. They'll find my videos, because they're some of the most popular in the entire game, and they'll say, huh, this is pretty good info. In fact, I could pull up a comment right now of someone literally saying this. Hold on. Wait, actually, let me do this. Just to really prove my point here. Look. This is the average Joe right here. New player. They don't even know there's apparent hate around me. Then they see how you guys act, that you turn an official LFG server when they just want to play the game into a let's harass and turn this into a YouTube drama server. And like, they get so super turned off. So even if your bitch about me is entirely valid, the reason why communities don't generally let that stuff fester is because it's just not healthy to just let a bunch of hate-mongering angry people convert an official LFG server into Drama Station Central. But again, this just furthers my point that Fat Shark doesn't care, because I bet Straw Hat isn't even aware of what happened in the server today. Because it went on for hours. There is no PR person on planet Earth that is going to tell you it is acceptable to allow your official channels to get used to basically just organize harassment around this guy that 99% of the people in the server do not even know or care about. The PR 101. And second off, I have finally like achieved nirvana between therapy and just like recognizing just myself, that I don't really need the validation from people, because the world's first Havoc 40 thing, you guys love to downplay it and say it doesn't actually matter, but that got coverage outside of the darktide sphere. You know? Like, there were people who don't even play darktide that heard about that and quoted some of the stuff that I said because it was funny. Like, that is way more validating than a couple of guys who fucking live on Discord. Then I got congratulated for it by the dev that I talked to, and like, I don't know, the outside fucking world acknowledges it and is like, damn, that's cool. A guy that I randomly ran into in another game was like, hey, are you the guy from Darktide did Havoc? I was like, yeah, that was worth way more in like acknowledging online good boy points. And it's just like a self-closure kind of thing where I recognize that like the accomplishment matters the most to me, and it makes me happy and proud, and it doesn't really matter whatever the fuck you guys kind of say, because it's as easy as doing what I'm about to do next, where I click stop recording, I cut ties with the game, and I never look back. And I get to walk away saying, damn, I did all this stuff. That was pretty cool. Time to go move on to the next thing. And then I never have to think about it again. Okay, there is actually one last thing that I want to say. I just thought about it right before the video went up. But it would be really, really funny if you, just the people seeing this video, constantly said in the Discord or in game or on Reddit that I was responsible for the Ogren rework, that I saved Ogren. Even though it would be a complete meme that nobody actually thinks or takes seriously, you would see these people absolutely lose their shit and start typing paragraphs after paragraphs if enough people say it, like, for a long enough period of time. And I think that would be really, really funny. I just think that would be really funny to watch people lose their shit over literally something everyone knows is just a meme. Okay, goodbye. I love you. Mwah.